Hey guys, Lordduck here. Today I'm just going to do a quick video on the Capcom beat 'em up collection. I have it on the Nintendo Switch, so I'm just going to give it a whirl. I really haven't played it. Cool thing is about this, you can pick the Japanese or you can pick the English versions. Because I don't read or understand a good variety of Japanese, I am just going to stick it on the English games for now, and I'm going to do some Knights of the Round. I used to play this game quite a bit on emulator with friends of mine, Nico and Torgath, and also King of the Dragons is on here, and that's one that Nico used to own. And we used to play a few rounds of that on the SNES. I am just going to pick. I'll end up picking. Just go with Lancelot. He's usually the best to go with for speed. Yeah, so I had my stream last night on Twitch at Lordduck twitch.tv/Lordduck86, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you that tuned into that. That was a special Friday night 5-hour stream of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Star Fox 64. So hopefully I'll start doing more 64 videos. I had one recorded earlier, but I noticed my mic was cutting in and out, and I hope my mic is doing that continuously now. It's really annoying that when you go to do something like that, it happens. But I mean, that's the joys of recording with, you know, limited equipment that I have. So if it is cutting in and out on this video, I do apologize. But I've been at this for over 3 hours now, and I really don't want to keep recording. I have my live stream to do tonight, so I'll try not to do this. I have to prep for that. I honestly still don't know what game I'm going to do for that. So that should make things interesting, because the last couple of streams have been no prep time, and it's just been fly by the seat of my pants, and it's really poor production. I'm going to try to get out of that as much as possible. Yeah, I don't like having low production. And one of my biggest pet peeves is noise. Like background noise when I'm trying to record on something or I'm trying to focus. It seems like everybody wants my attention, or they're trying to get a hold of me, or it's somebody coming up or ringing my doorbell or knocking on the door. And I don't know how many times this week I'd be in the middle of a stream and my phone would start going off. Like, I have it on silent. But the thing is, I tell people I am streaming at this time, don't bother me. And they're just like, well, I don't care, and they keep coming. Well, I'm telling you, it's annoying. So yeah, sorry about rambling on. This game is pretty awesome. Also too, the support on Facebook and Instagram has gotten amazing. I don't know if I can stress that enough. And also got a couple shoutouts on Twitter about a week ago. For a guy that's really only been doing streaming and video production for like about a week, I think I've come a long way. There's a lot of people that have been complaining about my audio quality, my video quality. I've tried to rectify as much as I can the audio quality. I end up finding out why I was only able to get audio channel in the one ear or the one speaker. It's because I had it on stereo and I don't have a setup for that. So I just stick it on mono. So it is coming out of both speakers as I have discovered, which is good. So I'm really happy about that. As for the video, like there's really nothing much I can do. The video skips and jumps. It's hard for me to figure out. I'm only one guy working here in production. If I had more than one person, I could be like, okay, I'd assign somebody to do the audio tweaking. You know, I'd send the videos off to them. They could do the tweaking, they could do the editing, and we would just go from there. But unfortunately for now, with COVID and everything, it's hard to get with people. I do production meetings with Nico and Torgath to see how they feel about certain ideas. And they usually have better ideas on things than I do, which is good. Because my ideas sometimes are off the wall and no one will really pay attention to it. Even though it might be like, I will get, I'll get followers and I'll get viewers from, like, let's say, like France or Belgium or somewhere like that, right? Quebec. If I do like a pure on French stream. But because my French skills really aren't that strong, like I'm from an Acadian family and my French skills aren't that strong, I can only speak on like a 7-year-old level or less than that, like the equivalent of a 4-year-old speaking French. So I understand basics. It wasn't really forced upon me growing up. My dad is kind of really hates the French because it was forced on him. So it really wasn't taught to me growing up, more so once my grandfather passed away. But it's one of those things. I've learned more since I left home, and I enjoy it. But there's not much I can really do on that. Anyways, back into the subject, I have mentioned to the guys, maybe a French stream and the ideas get shot down. Just because where I'm not that strong in French, and I'll have a bunch of French followers, and if I go to speak English or do an English stream, I'll be alienating people. So I try to keep my streams to 100% English as much as possible. But I mean, if people come in the chat and start typing away in French or whatever, I'm able to figure it out, and I can translate for people on the fly, as long as it's not too advanced. Like if it starts getting into more advanced in passé composé, which is like past tense, I can't figure it out for the life of me. So yeah, just button mashing away here. I kind of wish I had 2 more players on this. That'd be pretty awesome. I've never played any of the Capcom games unless they came on the Super NES. We never had the arcade cabinets in my area growing up. It's just, Cape Breton Island is not like the mecca center of like media or technology. So like 20 years ago, it was really, really behind the times a lot. From what I've heard from my parents and my friends' parents, is back in their time, Cape Breton Island was about 10 years behind the rest of Canada for like music and technology. So during their time in the 60s and 70s, they were listening to music from like the 50s and 60s like it was brand new. Because everything had to get shipped on to Cape Breton Island. Like as in Newfoundland, we're like pretty much our Newfoundland. There's a lot of similarities, but at the same time, us in the province or the island, Newfoundland, there's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences. So Newfoundland used to be its own country right up until 1949 when they joined Confederation, and like. The rest of Canada, especially Western Canada, loves to alienate us and put us all in the same lump, but we're not. And I don't know if they're joking around or if they're actually really serious. I used to get super serious over it, but I think it was the guys getting their eyes out of me at work. And, I'm pretty sure they would know the difference, considering how most of the workers in Alberta are actually from, like, the Maritimes, where I'm from. But it's just one of those things. I would get really worked up over it. I mean, I used to get like super worked up over a lot of things. I do take a lot of things serious. Like if I go to work, I'm there to work. I'm not there to be a friend. I'm not there to be a buddy. Like I mean, if I end up making friends out of it, cool. Oh shit, I end up dying. But yeah, if I end up making friends out of the whole deal shebang, cool, whatever, like that's great. But I'm a very private person. I like having my privacy. I don't like having a big social circle. Like I have, my in-laws. I'm marrying into a big family. My family's pretty large, so I like having my space. I like having minimal people around because big crowds really tend to screw me up, and I don't like being in a lot of social situations. I never have. It freaks me out, and you know, the whole time growing up, I would get freaked out on. You know, and a lot of my family really weren't understanding of why that was, and would force me to go socialize. And all it would do would just make me angrier and angrier that nobody was listening to me. And unfortunately, because of it, I do not speak to a lot of my family because of it. And that upsets a lot of people. It upsets some of my family that I don't talk to other parts of the family. And therefore, they've tried to guilt trip me into talking to the other members of my family that I don't want any part of. And I have blocked all communications with those people because of the negativity that it brings and the controlling aspects that they like to. They try to control my life, and I just don't want that. So I just block it out. Same as any negative comments and stuff on the videos. I mean, people are entitled to their opinions, but it's pretty much one of those things. You can't control them all. You can't please everybody. If you could, then, you know, everybody would be doing this, and it would make it easier for everyone. So, you know, everybody want to do it if it was easy. But that's the thing. I don't feed into the negativity. I've already had a few negative comments and stuff on my Instagram, and on the Facebook. And the negative comments, I see them and they're gone. Like, I don't have time to deal with it. And if I see it, it's just gonna eat away at me. And I just, you know, like, a lot of it is, it's either pure jealousy or it's somebody who is unsatisfied with their life that they have to feel they have to bring somebody down and make themselves feel better. It's not cool, and I don't enjoy it. And, you know, if you're gonna have that kind of mentality, nobody needs to deal with it. You need to stay home or not open your mouth. That's just my opinion. So yeah, back onto the family and stuff and the socializing. For those of you who do not know about, for those of you who do not know, and that's guaranteed to be a majority of you guys, I was diagnosed at the age of 12 with Asperger's and also high-functioning autism. They're two different things. It's hard to figure out, but basically it's social interaction. Communication is number one. That's why I tend to repeat myself a lot of times. It's not to annoy you guys. It's just how I absorb the information, and also eye contact. So for those of you that actually do know me and have known me for quite some time, and also for my family who have noticed, when I talk to people, I don't look them in the face, and it's not a confidence thing. It's just I can't. It's hard for me. And I would get freaked out on by my family a lot of times, like, oh, stand up for yourself, you know, look them in the eyes, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I can't. I physically can't. And it's just, I don't trust a lot of people. Even my fiance, like, I mean, I can look her in the eyes, but it's for a few seconds, and that's it. Like, and I get really uncomfortable, and she knows. She knows, and I love her to death. She's a really great support. She is the first person in my whole entire adult life to actually make me feel like I matter, outside of my friends. Like I matter, and that, you know, making eye contact with people really isn't that big of a deal. I mean, I should for professional reasons, but I can't. You know, it's hard for me, and it's one of those things. I'm more of a lone wolf when it comes to social activities. I can play games online and stuff, that's no problem, but if I was to actually sit here with complete strangers, it'd be a different story. I couldn't. I could not play games. So yeah, I seem to be tend to rambling on here, but bonus. So yeah, I figured I'd put a video up just to make up for the lackluster one yesterday, and also to announce that we'll be streaming tonight at 5 p.m. Atlantic, which is like 4 Eastern. So hopefully you guys can tune in on Twitch for that. That'd be greatly appreciated if you guys did. And I try to advertise on Instagram and Facebook, but it's a lot for one guy to try to do on his own. So I am going to try to start assigning and delegating roles to people, but like I said, communication really hasn't been my strong point, and I just don't want to bother people. It feels like I'm being a huge bother to people. If I ask for something, it just, because I, like, basically, coming from a toxic home, you'd ask somebody something and they would flip. They'd be like, oh, I don't have time, don't bother me. And that's all it was. So it was like, you know, if I was struggling with my schoolwork, I asked somebody for help, and I get a no. I get told, you know, go away. Or I get grounded because I bothered somebody from watching Star Trek. Like, it's just, you know, a lot of that weighs on me. So it's just, I will try to start delegating to people, like, hey, can you please help me with this, you know? I don't want to seem like I'm always panicky when I'm asking them. I don't want to be ill-prepared for my streams. I don't want to be ill-prepared for my posts, and I don't want to be ill-prepared for my YouTube videos. Because, like, let's face it, you know, if your production's crap, if your quality's crap, and it seems like it's a rush job, nobody's gonna want to stick around for it. Lots of cash. Fucking Scrooge McDuck in armor here. Oh, this is gonna take a lot of my lives. So yeah, well, what else was I saying? So yeah, I gotta start delegating to people, you know, because I'm not really the best at technology. I had zero clues how to do video editing. So I'm gonna have to start delegating to people, I think, like, you know, messaging them, like, hey, you know, can you help me with this? I can't see anybody saying no, you know, if they're good at it, or like if they're really great at social media. Like I'm lucky I can operate my computer, and I'm lucky I can operate recording this stuff without having a massive panic attack. Because let's face it, it is overwhelming. If you've never worked with this stuff before, it's super overwhelming. There's a lot to know. Like audio, you gotta figure out what your audio quality is. If your volume's too high in the mic, if your volume's too low in the game, or if it's, you know, vice versa, or if you got it on one channel and you should have it on two. And you know, how much room is left? Okay, what videos do I have to get rid of? Do I need this? Do I need that? And also too, like, what game am I going to stream? I have a set schedule in place, and fucking, I'm going with Arthur. I have a set schedule in place, but you know, that schedule don't mean anything if I'm not prepped. So on the days off, like I stream Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So like on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, if I'm not playing, if I'm not coordinating, even on the days I'm streaming, like if I don't have things ready, it's going to be a shit show. Which it was on Friday, and I realized that because Friday I had to get my deck built. Or Thursday, my deck I need to replace the stairs on my steps, on my deck, and I spent all morning and all, like, pretty much the afternoon figuring that out. And then my capture card came in, so I spent like the majority of the day not getting ready, and I didn't do anything on my other 2 days because I was like, I wanted to relax, I wanted to stretch. Like, it's hard doing this stuff, and there's a lot of people that think, oh, this is easy. All you do is you sit down, you just press click, and you play video games. Like, I'm sorry, motherfucker. It's not that easy. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into streaming, and a lot of work that goes into video production. I've never noticed it before, and I'm sorry, my voice is dry. I'm rambling here, but there's so much that goes into this process, and it's nonstop, and it's fun. Like, I actually enjoy doing this, and I get paid to stream on Twitch. I get paid so much per prescription. Jesus, I'm a pharmacist. So much per subscription, and so much for ads. Sorry about the echoiness there. I was getting a drink of water. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of neat. It's a neat little venture, and it's a neat little hobby. Ooh, massive sword level wiping up. So yeah, it's a wicked hobby. Like, I enjoy doing this. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy it. But I never noticed how much it actually takes out of you physically. Like after a good stream, 5-6 hours you're doing this. It's hard on the body. Like your knees are getting locked up. So what I tend to do is I tend to take like a break every hour and a half. I try to aim for, you know, a little minute break or 2-minute break. Fuck off. Fucking ass, man. So yeah, I tend to try to take a break in my stream, run a commercial break, and put it on intermission, and just get up, go stretch my legs, and do that stuff. Oh fuck, I hate this guy. I remember this twat. So yeah, get the blood flow going, because the last thing I want is like go to get up and my legs are locked completely and numb because they fell asleep while I was doing the stream. And it's happened before with playing games. Like I get going for about a 12 to 13 hour session, like just in the groove, like, and I would only move to go to the bathroom, and that would be like every 3-4 hours, and I'd have to like run across the hall and then run back, run. Whereas now it's like, you know, I do roughly, I try to aim for about 20-25 hours of stream a week. And I try to do that, and that takes its toll on you mentally as well, because you have to think about time and stuff like that. Like, okay, what am I gonna do with this time? You know, this time frame. So it's hard to do, but you get used to it. It's the same as anything, you build endurance. And I mean, I love doing this hobby because I like playing games, and I like sharing the joy of the games. Like, I'm gonna have a webcam soon, so the webcam will be more of a reaction cause, because I'm a pretty reactive guy. It's mostly facial expressions sometimes, or sometimes I have a resting face, and it really shows sometimes though, because you can see it in my eyes. Oh, excuse me. Hello, horsey. Chop, chop, bitch. I don't think it makes any difference if I attack him on the ground or not. Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't think it makes any difference if I attack him on the ground. So yeah, also on my game collection, you may notice I play a lot of like 16-bit, 8-bit games so far. Like, I mean, that's just majority of what is in my collection is like Nintendo and Super Nintendo. They were the systems I grew up on. I am going to do the Nuzlocke challenge for Pokemon. I'm not sure which one yet. For those of you that don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, the Nuzlocke challenge is you can only catch the first Pokemon on the route. You have to nickname them, because it makes it more attached. And if your Pokemon dies, like if it faints, that's it. You either have to release it or put it in the box, because you're not allowed to use them anymore. So like, shit, this is actually tougher than I thought. So pretty much like if you have, fucking I'm going personal. If you have a Pidgey, you can't catch another Pidgey. You can level them up. But if you have it in your Pokedex, you cannot capture any more of that Pokemon. So, like, if I have a Pidgeot, I can't catch any more Pidgeys. If I have an Arcanine, I can't catch Growlithe, etc., etc., etc. And if they pass away, like, if they faint, that's it. Game over. Like, it's done for them. You can't use them again, and that includes your starters. I was going to do with Pokemon Yellow, but Pro Nico was telling me, you know, there's a bunch of stats and stuff, so I'm not going to do them on that. That would be nuts. I also mentioned during that production meeting, I mentioned to Proto Nico, you know, what if I do the Nuzlocke challenge? He's like, okay. I was like, but I don't evolve them. He's like, that would be difficult. He's like, that's psychotic. You don't want to do that right away. He's like, do the Nuzlocke challenge. See if you succeed at it. And if you succeed at it, then do it up. I'm like, okay. Then he replies back a couple of days later. He's like, hey, on the Nuzlocke challenge, why don't you just do a challenge of a team of Kakunas and Metapods? I'm like, do you fucking hate me? Like, are you that psychotic? So, like, let's face it, a team of Metapod and Kakunas, like, one hit critical, done. Every time. And it don't matter what level they are. Like, I mean, if I catch Caterpies and Kakunas and evolve them to Metapod and Caterpies and Weedles, and I evolve them into Kakunas and Metapods, then maybe, yeah, okay. They'll have Tackle, and that'll be it. Or Poison Sting. I mean, that'd be cool. Going around with a team of Kakunas and Metapods from Caterpies and Weedles. But, I mean, I figure with the Nuzlocke challenge back on that, I figure if I go with Pokemon Yellow and I get a Caterpie, evolve it to a Butterfree, get it like 2 or 3 levels up, I'll have Confusion, and that seems to work on Brock's Pokemon. Jesus, steroids. Yeah, so if I do that, like, Caterpie will probably be my best bet. Because, like, Pidgeotto, or Pidgey, is, he's a flying type. Flying's weak against ground, so weak against rock. You really need to know your advantages, and with Pokemon Yellow, you don't. You start with Pikachu. That's the one thing. So you're already at a type disadvantage for the first boss. First gym. So the first gym, you're already at a disadvantage. Second gym, I should be fine. Third, I should have a Bulbasaur by then. So a Bulbasaur and a Charmander for sure. So I should be fine. And then, you know, 4th badge and all that. I should be fine. And, I mean, I could also do Ash Ketchum's team challenge. I don't even know if that's a real thing. But it'd be something to check. Something to look at. What else? I mean, there's all kinds of video game challenges out there, but right now I want to focus on the Nuzlocke for sure. And I have people asking me to go into speedrunning, for, like, Super Mario World and stuff like that, Mario Brothers 3. See, the thing is, I'm not a speedrunner. I'm interested in it. I think it looks cool, but I just don't have the knowledge in it. So I just don't want to. I don't want to go ahead and keep doing that. You know, punishing myself for that day in, day out. I watch speedrunners do it. I follow a speedrunning channel, but it's tool assisted. Which means basically somebody inputted the programs in on an emulator and just went, here, run this. And that's how it is. It's tool-assisted speedruns. And there was people that used to put tool-assisted speedruns in on the world records and stuff on the boards. And it was really pissing a lot of people off. So it's like, well, you know what? Like, tool-assisted speedruns are cool. But it's kind of neat watching people who actually like struggle with struggle with the speedruns, and they actually nail it, and it works out fine for them. I've never beaten a game super quick. I don't think I ever will. Like, I don't have that kind of drive to shit. I'm surrounded. I don't have that kind of drive to actually like sit there and figure this stuff out. I mean, as good as it would be, like, I mean, you know, you're watching a video of a guy that spent over an hour trying to figure out how to wall jump in Mega Man X in a playthrough on Twitch. Like, I couldn't get past that in the Sigma stage. Like, and I kept telling people, yeah, I'm gonna beat Mega Man X in one go. Because I had it, you know, I just pretty much sat there one day and went, yeah, within like an hour and a half, I was at the Sigma stages. Like, I took my time. and it took me roughly about another 45 or 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get all the power-ups, because they have them in such an awkward place, and it's so hard to get. Like, I mean, to get the or not the helmet, but to get the Buster, like the Mega Buster upgrade, it's in, I forget which character, but, Lava Mammoth or Magma Mammoth, it's in the Mammoth stage, and to get it, you have to jump up a certain angle, like you have to run across the stage, you have to hit the blocks with your head and keep going up, because if you don't, you're stuck. And it's harder and harder and harder every time. So I sat there and kept resetting, and then I finally got it after about the 10th time resetting. Like, I was super pissed off by the end of it. I was just like, I don't even want to do this anymore. What did I get myself into? Yay. So yeah. But no, it's all a learning process. Like, I mean, people that can speed run, fucking right, do it up. You guys are beasts. But when I'm playing a game, I like to explore every little bit of the game. I like to, like, if I played the game once or twice before and I've beaten it, you know, yeah, then I try to see, okay, how fast can I run this? You know, how fast can I get through? And I mean, that's mostly like sports games with seasons and stuff like that, like NHL. I'm a big NHL fan. I cheer for the Detroit Red Wings and the Edmonton Oilers. So when I'm playing like EA Sports or something like that, I just, that's mostly what I play when I play sports games, like NBA 2K, and I also play FIFA and NHL for my sports games usually, and I usually do like WWE games. But 2K20 is complete shit compared to 19 and 18, in my opinion. Like, enter the glitch fest. When I bought it, the game was like $20 on the PlayStation Network. I was like, how bad can this be? I got rid of 2K19, and I regret it. I mean, I still play it every now and then, and it was my first streams on Twitch that actually saved onto the desk. Not the hard drive, but I forget what it is. I ended up saving it on my channel anyways, and that was about a week and a half ago now, almost 2 weeks ago. And I had a really, really shitty headset, and I was getting feedback, and it was getting squeaky, and just the headset I was using was like older to boot hill. This one's about 2 weeks old now, and I love it. It's amazing. It's a Logitech G332 headset. I am not endorsed in any way by Logitech, trust me. I have no endorsements of anything. So if you hear me talking about a project, it's got nothing to do with endorsements. It's just how it is. I know what I like for equipment. I like to use what I like for equipment. And, you know, like, it's all I really could afford at the time. Money's kind of tight right now because I'm unemployed. I'm in between jobs, and I'm planning on going back to school. So, like, well, I shouldn't say money's tight. We're well-to-do. We have enough money set aside for emergencies and for stuff like this. But also, I was supposed to get married about a month ago, but we had to postpone because of COVID. So we have all that money put aside for our wedding. Yeah, I was supposed to get married in the middle of June. We have all that money put aside for the wedding, which we are not touching, and I have savings for the first time in my adult life, thanks to COVID. Because I don't know if you guys are aware of what the CERB is, or EI, unemployment. Pretty much, you know, money was coming in, and with everything being locked down, nobody was going anywhere, nobody was spending anything, everybody was inside because the virus, you know, we have a population in Nova Scotia of like 900,000, and we are such a small area that, especially in Halifax, like half the population lives in the Halifax Regional Municipality, and Like, it spreads like wildfire. All it takes is just one person to get sick, and everybody's suffering. And now that we're starting to open up again, you can see there's people who don't have enough integrity to distance themselves. Like, I wear a mask. When I go out, I wear a mask. And it's not me being afraid. It's me protecting others from, because you never know. Like, you can be asymptomatic and not show any symptoms. But all it takes is just 1 minute inattention, and that person's sick. Like, you could have an immune-compromised person, and you could, you could end up killing them. Like, my fiance she has really bad asthma. So, like, all it takes is just me to go out to the store without a mask and come home and bring home a disease. And like, I've had lung issues in the past, like major bronchial issues, like really bad severe bronchitis issues where I've had to go on puffers, that I could be at risk too. So it's like, well, fuck it, why am I risking it? And you'd be surprised how many ignorant people there is. Like, I've had people, I would be standing in line at the grocery store, I've had people come up like in line and slam their stuff down and tell me to hurry the hell up, and almost like want to fist fight me over the fact that I am being safe, I'm taking my time, I'm bagging my groceries. Like, and I mean, going to grocery stores is stressful enough, and it's anxiety ridden, that I'm trying to bag my stuff and my hands are shaking because I'm nervous. And especially with COVID, it's harder, it's getting harder and harder for me every time. So there's some days I am afraid to leave my house. It's hard for me to say that, but some days I just don't want to leave my house because I don't know if I'm going to get it, and I know I shouldn't live in fear, but the thing is, it's not fear of the virus, it's fear of other people. Because really, integrity, nobody has integrity. A majority of people, I shouldn't say nobody, but the majority of people just don't have integrity nowadays. And it's foolish. And same as intelligence. Like, how many people I see, like, out and about, scratch their face and touch an item, and they go, no, I don't want that, and put that down, or like stick their finger in their mouth, and like people scratching their ass and shit in the grocery store. It's gross. It's gross, and it's wrong. As far as I'm concerned, if you do any of that, you should be charged. But that's just me, and that's my ramblings. So yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. I wear the mask, and it's to protect myself and others. And it makes me feel better. Like, I mean, I used to work with a bunch of Google certified professors. So, like, we would have our lunches and stuff like that, or I'd be working with them, and, I'd just be telling them, like, hey, and they're like, oh, that's propaganda. Like, what? Like, okay. No, that's propaganda. Here's what it actually is. It's like, okay, where'd you get that? Oh, I found it on Google. It's like, what? Okay, well, like, great. Well, it's right because I say it's right. Well, no, it's not. You're wrong, and here's why. And you prove them wrong, and you would show them that they're wrong on their trusted PhD material source for Google, and they would get mad, and they'd stomp their fist or stomp their feet and throw a temper tantrum like a fucking child, and then walk away. And then they would make your life sheer hell. Yeah, I used to work in an interesting place. Yeah, and not all the people that I used to work with were like that, but there is a lot of people that I used to work with that were very me first and fuck everybody else later. Like, you would work with someone, and then the next thing you know, they'd like turn around and start blabbing their mouth to whoever about something. Like, I said something to somebody once in the truck because there was something going on and I wasn't agreeing with it, and I ended up letting my opinion be known to a few people. And I was out working with one guy, and he was goading me on, and he was feeding fuel to the fire, and he was just trying to get his, trying to get a one up on me. And like, this individual just pretty much, we're a driver related position, So if you're under the influence, you know, if you're out of it, you shouldn't be behind the wheel. Well, this guy was getting high on shift and driving the truck, and I just seen that he left the lights on. Everybody knew he was getting high, but nobody was saying anything. I was getting pissed off that nothing was being done. So I came into work one morning. I noticed the lights were on his truck, and you know, on the interior and left on. The exterior lights, like the headlights and stuff. So I went in, and as soon as I opened the truck, like, that's all you could smell was just pure on dope. And like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong against having a hoot every now and then. Like, if you want to smoke dope, fine. That's one thing. But don't do it at work. Like, don't do it on shift. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, well, Lordduck, how come you're against marijuana? Like, you know, it's only a plant. Like, it's not like we're causing the harm. Well, I'm sorry. Like, it's called dope for a reason. It's dope-amphetamine. Dope-amphetamine makes you slow to react. Like, and yes, there are many medicinal purposes behind it, and it helps with stress and anxiety. But dope-amphetamine makes you want to fall asleep. And I know there's different strands like indica and sativa, and indica in the couch, and, you know, sativa wires you. But as far as I'm concerned, it makes you dopey, and that's why it's called dope. It slows your reaction down. And if you're driving a 5-ton vehicle with, like, you know, $20,000 worth of furniture in the back, and you roll that truck and you end up killing somebody, that's my livelihood down the drain. Because, you know, DOT and public safety would come in and lock the doors and say, until you get this solved, it's done. So it was like, well, you know, anyways, back to my story. I brought it up to management. They went up, they had a look. Well, they ended up giving this guy a blast of shit, and they did nothing but give him a little slap on the wrist and say, don't do it again. Swept it under the rug. So I was like, well, what the fuck? And so anyways, like, I said to a couple guys, I'm like, well, what the fuck is with this guy? Like, he's getting away with it. You know, has he done it with you guys? And they're like, well, yeah. It's like, well, then grow a set of fucking balls and report it. Oh, I just don't want the problem. Well, if they come in and close us down, we're fucked. Like, how are you going to pay your bills then? Like, think about it. You know, this guy's going to end up killing someone. So anyways, I end up, a couple weeks later go by, I'm like, whatever. Nobody's getting to say anything. You know, like, cool, I said my piece, no one's going to believe me, because nobody's got the balls to fucking say anything. And the next thing I know, I'm going to pull into the office for fucking, you know, for saying my piece and, like, pretty much not feeling safe. And my management's like, okay, what's going on between you two? And I told him, I'm like, I don't trust him because he's not safe. He shows up here, he's out of it every morning. He's stoned. And you send him out on the road with, you know, with a vehicle. Like, you guys are as much a problem as he is. And, you know, it's just like, well, do I really want to be at this company? Like, you know, I was planning on going to school for a long time. I just didn't know what I wanted. Now I know what I wanted. But I mean, it was issues. Like, I mean, there was individuals who just didn't care. They just wanted to be there just so that way they could get their next bottle or their next hit. And it's so hard to work with people like that. You know, they hate their lives that much that they have to make everybody else's life hell. And the culture around that warehouse, it was so negative. Just you couldn't go to work and enjoy your work. Like, I mean, if you went in and people knew that you were happy and you were enjoying yourself, there was guys that would go out of their way to make your life hell. So that way you were like, I don't want to come back anymore. And we've had people quit because of it. But back on the situation with that the fella. Anyways, me and him were working one day, and we talked it out. And I told him what I thought, and I was like, listen, just stay sober. I don't give a shit what you do on your own time. Just don't bring it around me. I don't want to get hurt. I was like, and if you are going to have that mentality of going and smoking a joint on the job, I'm taking over, I am driving, and we are going back to the shop, and you are getting out, and I'm asking for somebody else. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I won't do it anymore. And then he was such in a foul mood. Like, he almost got me ran over because he ended up parking across the street on a blind corner and was trying to make me go into a house backwards, like, awkwardly, carry things a certain way. I'm like, no. Like, he's got, at this point, he maybe has, like, less than a year experience. I got 15 years experience doing that stuff. And I was just like, this isn't right. Like, you're going to get me hurt. And I had hurt in my back, you know. I was like, okay, whatever. I was in a pissy mood that day, and he knew it. And he's like asking, you know, what happened, and I told him, I was like, here's what happened, like, and, you know, this is what I said to them. I also said to him, I was like, you know, it's fucking stupid how they aren't dealing with these issues. Like, they are allowing guys like you to come in and run the joint and make a mess and cause nothing but problems for them. And they just sweep it under the rug because they don't want to deal with it. I said, because it's more paperwork than they want to deal with at that moment. I was like, you need to think about what's going on. And pretty much everything I told him, after the shift, he ran into the office and closed the door and started telling him everything I said. So, I mean, it was pretty much the company owners and me and my managers, you know, my manager and my supervisor. Basically, we had a meeting that Friday, and I told him everything that was going on. And my manager's got so much shit because of all the stuff I had reported, I had documented. You know, they got a lot of shit, and they were told by the owners, deal with it. You know, if this is an issue, deal with it. Don't keep the problem guys around. Like, get rid of them. And my managers, you know, they really weren't believing me because I was injured, and they thought I was a liar. Like, but I understand why. Because there was a lot of people that wouldn't linger. So anyways, like, the issues with these guys were ongoing, and it's just pretty much like, there's issues of racism, white supremacy. I wasn't feeling comfortable working in that situation, and nobody else should. So, you know, like, when the layoffs came, so back when COVID began, my fiance had a severe asthma attack on her birthday. Not severe, but her asthma was flaring up. It was coughing and hacking, and like, COVID was just brand new, and we were like, well, we're not gonna risk it, just in case. You know, she wasn't burning up a fever or anything. And like, we were basically told in a PSA, don't go to the hospital unless it's necessary. And like, you know, she wasn't running a fever or anything. So I pretty much said, fuck it. I called my boss, because my fiance's sick, like, she's hacking and gagging. We're gonna go in 2 weeks self-isolation, and just call it that. Like, run the 2 weeks self-isolation, hope for the best. And if that's what it was, then we would come to it. But if it wasn't, then, well, we did our due diligence and precaution. And I called my manager, and I said, hey, like, you know, I called him, and all I got was his voicemail, and kept going to voicemail, and I texted him like 3-4 times. I said, I need you to answer your phone. Like, this is the situation that's going on. And finally, he calls me back about an hour later and goes, what do you want? Like, he was right snarky, and I was like, well, here's the situation. If you answered your phone, you would know that my fiance is having an asthma attack, like, having really bad asthma flare-ups, and I'm going to stay home because, like, for 2 weeks. I'm self-isolating because if she has COVID, she's hacking a lot. Like, if she has COVID, I am not bringing this thing to work, and I am not bringing anything back to you guys. And he got super mad at me and super pissed off. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm just going over your head. Enough's enough. Like, you aren't going to do anything. You never deal with anything. And I went right to my other, right to the head management, like the owners of the company. I said, listen, my fiance, and I told them the story. And they're like, fine. I'm like, yep, have your 2 weeks. You know, nothing was said. Nobody was mad or anything. But I mean, they were super pissed that I went over their head. So my manager ended up losing his cool with me. He was like, well, okay, just go every 2 weeks. We'll deal when we come back. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, you know, thanks. So anyways, this goes on. And about 2-3 days later, I get a phone call from him saying, or 2 days later, I get a phone call from him saying, okay, are you ready to come back to work? I'm like, no, because I'm on 2 weeks quarantine. Like, I'm in self-isolation, man. I can't leave the house. Well, how do you know? Do you have doctor's note? I'm like, the doctors won't do anything because it's not full-blown. I was like, we'll only go to the hospital if it is becoming an issue for both me and her. And it was an uphill fight with him. And then finally, he's like, okay, we'll do it within 2 weeks. And I said to him, I was like, you know, you said this 2 days ago. I was like, if you call me, I am ignoring this phone. I was like, I'm entitled to my 2 weeks. I was like, and I have some vacation. I said, if I need to, I will. So everything went fine. About a week later, I ended up getting a call saying, yeah, everybody's getting laid off. Or no, it was later on that week, so about 3 days later, I get a call, I see the number, I go, yeah, whatever. And then I just ignored it, and I got a call from the owners as well. So the owners call, I pick up the phone, I'm like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, well, we have to lay everybody off because they're shutting everything down for COVID. And because we're not an essential service, we go into people's homes. I'm like, fine, whatever, that's cool. You know, so I basically sat at home since March, like middle of March till a week ago, wondering what was going on. I called like 2 weeks ago, I call up and I'm like, hey, what's going on? You know, and, oh, we don't know what's going on, hours are cut again, nobody's buying anything. And meanwhile, I seen, you know, a couple of our work trucks go by and one went by my house. I was like, okay, something's up. So I called them and they're like, okay, you know, the warehouse is like, oh yeah, well, we'll call you when there's anything needed. So then the owners, like, the management calls, the owners call, you know, on Friday, and I'm talking to one of them, and they're like, oh, how's your COVID going, everything, you know, are you guys fine, like, what are you doing around your house? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing some gardening, and the deck giveaway was, oh, I'm doing gardening too, and I'm thinking to myself, like, you aren't calling me to talk about gardening, what is going on? And then they were like, him and I'm like, no, you need to tell me now, what is going on, because I will get pissed. And they know what I'm like, because I've been there for a year and a half. So anyways, like, no beating around the bush. Basically, I was told was, we're letting people go because nobody's buying anything. We don't know when we're going to be picking up our operations. Your benefits are done as of the 1st of July. You are aware of that. I'm like, yes, okay. So this goes on. And then finally, they tell me, you know, you're being let go from your position, but you can still collect your EI. And, you know, when openings happen, you can reapply for your job. And I was like, are you fucking serious? Reapply for my job? Why would I want to reapply for my job? Like, I can understand, you know, if we merged with another company, that's one thing. But if, you know, if it's something that's, I have a layoff slip, like my ROE, record of employment, basically says returning date to work unknown. And the reason being is stoppage of work due to COVID. And I was like, okay, so basically you lied to me. So, you know, they tagged me, they dragged me along, and they pulled me along for 3 months and didn't say anything. Well, that's fine. So that's on a Friday. So I check my email, like Monday comes along, rolls along. I'm like, okay, fine. I go to check my emails before I go to bed and see if my vacation pay was released or whatever, if I got to change my ROE, saying, you know, there's no work and they were going to stop me being an employee. I look, and there's, in my email, there is a thing from Indeed, which is a hiring site, just basically saying that it's, you know, that the company is hiring again. So I was like, this isn't right. Like, why are they doing this? It's illegal. So we get a couple of other people it's happened to, and they are bringing it up to the labor board, but that's dealt with. So anyways, I decided then and there I was going back to school, and I plan going to school for industrial mechanic, which is a millwright. So I really look forward to that. But yeah. So anyways, guys, that is enough from me. I appreciate you tuning into this YouTube video. I just noticed that we beat the game as I was talking along. And I really appreciate each and every one of you guys coming in. If you can, I have a live stream happening tonight at 5 o'clock, so within the next 4 hours, that I need to go get ready. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys taking the time every day. And if my rambling going on is going to be a problem, I do apologize, but hopefully I can actually let's do this. Where's the L? Yeah, I don't want people to know my real name outside of my friend circle. So yeah, hopefully you guys tune in. There will be more videos like this. And yeah, it's been a blast recording this, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I will try to get 1 or 2 videos up per week if I can on YouTube. And yeah, so just definitely check them out. And if you haven't done so, like I said, check out the Instagram and the Facebook pages, Lordduck Gaming, all one word. And definitely check out the Twitch, twitch.tv/Lordduck86. Hopefully I will have the name changed up to Lordduck Gaming here in a couple weeks. Alright, guys. Well, that is it for me. I really appreciate you guys tuning in for this, this special... pretty much this special game I just beat. Nice to around. And, alright, guys.